2025. Please rise for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands,
one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Please take roll.
Commissioner Schmansky.
Here.
Commissioner Weiner. Here. Commissioner Membertu is absent. Vice Chair Yoder is absent. Commissioner McBride.
Here.
Commissioner Scarpace.
Here.
And Chair Whitliff.
Here, thank you. Approval, well, we have to amend the agenda to add number 14, meetings, training attended by members.
I'll make that motion to amend.
Motion by Mick, second by
I'll second.
Pam. Any discussion? None, please take roll.
Commissioner Schmansky.
Yes.
Commissioner Weiner.
Yes.
Commissioner McBride.
Yes.
Commissioner Scarpace.
Yes.
Chair Whitliff.
Yes, thank you. Approval agenda. At this time, the Planning Commission can take action to approve the August 7, 2025 agenda. Is there a motion?
I'll make that motion.
Motion by
With the
Mick,
amendment?
second. With the amendment, yes.
Second it.
Second by Ken. Discussion? None, please take roll.
Commissioner Schmansky.
Yes.
Commissioner Weiner.
Yes.
Commissioner McBride.
Yes.
Commissioner Scarpace.
Yes.
Chair Whitliff.
Yes, thank you. Conflicts of interest. At this time, the chair will ask if any members have a conflict of interest on the approved agenda for this evening. Is there anybody, any type of conflict? None? Okay. Approval of minutes. This time, the Planning Commission can approve the July 10th, 2025 meeting minutes. Ask for a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes.
Motion by Ken, second
Second.
by Mick. Discussion? None? Please take roll.
Commissioner Schmansky.
Yes.
Commissioner Weiner.
Yes.
Commissioner McBride.
Yes.
Commissioner Scarpace.
Yes.
Chair Whitliff.
Yes.
Commissioner Membertu. Yes. Motion passed.
Thank you. Correspondence has been shared with Planning Commission and will not be read aloud. Our presentation is Tim Ball, Code Enforcement Officer.
Hi, nice to meet y'all.
Good afternoon.
What you guys want to know?
Everything. What have you been doing? Background? You know.
Background real quick, I moved to Manistee in 2008 with my family. I moved here on a promotion to deputy warden at the Oaks Correctional Facility. In 2019, I finished up a 30-year career with the Michigan Department of Corrections. Been retired for the last 6 years until coming and interviewing in front of the city police chief and sergeant and agreeing to come in as the code enforcement officer. Both of my children, a boy and a girl, have graduated from Manistee Public Schools. They're both out in the world doing well. I'm happy to be here. Just as far as code enforcement goes, I like to just say that there's a huge difference between what I'm doing with blight, which has to do with junk and trash and garbage and stuff in people's yards and businesses and stuff, versus what Jerry does with blighted houses and the internal structures and that type of stuff. I started this job June 23rd. I'm obviously 6 weeks deep into it and been out in the public quite a bit. I've met a lot of fine, upstanding citizens. My goal is to come in and talk with people about their situations, where they're at in life, and how they got there, and why we're even having a conversation. I've taken kind of a softer approach in talking to people, and so far I've gotten some good results. I'm not, you know, I'm not new to this type of stuff, but I know it's going to come to an end. But I've had some real good positive results with folks in getting their yards and stuff in order. I work directly with Jerry a lot of the times. We go out and look at different houses and different. He's a great resource. He's taught me BSNA, or my aspect of BSNA, because that thing's huge. As far as I've got a pile of open complaints out there, I'm using C-Click Fix. Is a great tool the city has. Getting a lot of good leads there. Telephone calls, people are calling me. Of course, a lot of them have to refer to Jerry because they're housing type issues. Other than that, I'm excited to be here. I'm happy to go out and meet new people. I'm working with them I'm trying to come up with ways for them to be able to get their yards in order and their places in order. Chief Glass has helped me tremendously. He's a great mentor also. You guys are doing a fantastic job, and I truly am happy to be here. Any questions, concerns, statements?
You know, when you're dealing with blight, other than trash, do you find that it's usually because of a financial inability to pay for new siding or painting, or is it more just not paying
Siding and
attention?
painting comes right to Jerry.
Oh, okay.
Okay? When it comes to like the trash stuff, I'm dealing with folks from all different walks of life. Some people just, they don't have the money to get it out of there. And there's different situations of how some of the stuff has got there. Some of it's their own, some of it was their kids, some of it they inherited when they moved in. You know, there's just a ton of different excuses, that come at you, and you just have to wade through them. And I got a good background for that, so.
Probably not too many excuses you haven't heard one time or another.
No. But I'm giving people leeway right now in trying to work with them, in trying to come up with a plan, time frame, something. Show me something. Show me, because the last resort is the citation, and you can almost look at some of the folks and go, okay. A citation isn't going to make this process move ahead any faster. It's just, they can't afford to take a mattress to the dump, let alone pay a first fine, $250. So that's kind of where I'm at with it. And I know that at some point the rope will run out, and they'll have to figure it out. But I'm going to try my best to work with them until that point happens anyway.
Right. And again, if I'm not mistaken, they can get rid of some trash the beginning of every month, right? They can do a slow burn.
Yeah, because their trash pickup's part of their taxation with the city. The first pickup of the month, they can put one large item out with it. Behind that one large item, if they have more, they can go downstairs, second floor, they can get a ticket it costs them $16 for a large item ticket. Oh. And, being out there and talking, I've had I've had at least one person utilize that to get a couch out of the right of way, from the standpoint it was out there 2 weeks early. And $16 is inexpensive compared to a $250 citation, or even if they had the means to load that couch up themselves and take it to the dump, it's still cheaper, $16. And all they have to do is put the ticket on the couch, and their next garbage day, it gets taken away.
That's great.
So,
Thank you.
you're welcome.
Kind of like Cadillac has something in that, they're in code enforcement, they have something similar to what we're doing now. I didn't know about the ticket.
Oh, okay.
I didn't
So, I
either.
mean, that's, you know, maybe, I don't know if you knew about it.
Yeah.
So it's news to us. So I mean, that's
Good
good.
information.
Oh, it's part of the code enforcement or code garbage pickup, code, all of that.
In Cadillac, they have for 25, I think $25 or it was, you can go to City Hall, buy it, then haul it out to the dump. So,
Yeah.
but some people don't have that.
Well, that's why I thought for $16, that's a pretty good deal because,
Yeah.
like I said, I can't afford to, you know, it's cheap compared to what it costs you to pull up to Republic with a couch in the back of your truck. So.
True. I don't like having things lay outside
Yeah.
for 30 days. Probably everybody here drives them nuts, so. But thank you. I know you jumped in with both feet and just continue it.
Yeah, trying.
Okay.
Also, if you're not aware, just because I happen to be on another board, if there's a veteran out there who has an automobile that needs repair or a home repair, a minor home repair, American Legion has set aside money to be able to help support veterans.
Veterans? Okay. Okay, that's good. That's good because I want to, at some point, I want to start compiling resources
Right.
to throw at people too, because I've got a lady right now that inherited one heck of a mess, and there's not a lot of resources to help her at this point that I'm aware of. So I'm always, if somebody knows resources or, you know, has an idea, I'm all ears. So that's, thank you.
There's a lot of houses that sit with debris year after year after year. And I'm one of these, why should I keep my house up and have to look at a hot mess? You know? And you drive around and you see nice little homes and then you see this heap of junk, you know, and the grass is high and building and the shed in the back's collapsed and all this stuff. I mean, there should be something that has to be done, you know?
Well, you know, and that's one of the things that I've had numerous conversations with Chief Glass about too, is looking at amending some of the ordinances and some of the codes so that we can get more precise, more clear-cut written language in them, because some of them are pretty outdated. And you know, when you walk up to a house and you're talking to somebody about something that might be a prized possession, but to me, hey, it looks like junk. In the ordinance 650 anti-blight, it refers directly to junk, and it gives you a definition of junk. You know, I believe that's one of those ones that needs to, you know, there's a big definition behind it too, but one man's junk is another man's treasure. And I'm already finding out people don't appreciate their stuff being referred to as junk, so, you know.
Well, those would be great information to provide to us. You know, your recommendations on changes to the ordinances.
Oh, yeah.
As
Yeah,
you come
we're
across them, just let us know.
excellent.
Any other questions? No? Well, Tim, thank you so much for introducing yourself tonight.
You
and,
bet.
Best of luck, and, you know, if we can help you, we will.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good night.
Yeah, thank you.
Next, we will move along to a public hearing, 555 First Street, conditional rezone of property to expand legal non-conforming use in R1 district, to allow a place of public assembly, large in area of the building that is currently used as storage. So it is 5:45, we will open the public hearing.
So I'm here from the Armory. Do you want me to speak now?
No, not yet. Not yet. Go ahead, Jerry.
You ready?
Yes.
So we received an application for 555 First Street. My first encounter with this project is as the building official. I put the map that they have submitted. Once we discussed that from a building standpoint, then we stumbled across a zoning problem with the public of place of assembly, both large and small, not being allowed in R1. Once we did a whole bunch of homework and working with Mr. Bush from Lakeshore Construction, there was a letter produced from Denise stating that a portion of this, or the interpretation of it, was that this is a legal non-conforming use. As presented was the definition in this particular storage area that they're asking to change the use of or have a conditional rezone, was previously classified as storage. So they've been holding the church services in the public place of assembly, which is the gym, which is completely legal. There were some complaints that came in about advertisement and so forth, with them going forward without approval, but they did do the right thing. They have been moving the chairs back and forth, so I wanted to clear that up. We've got a few communications in. I've put those letters in your packet. I've received one phone call from a resident that wanted to know what it was about, the public notices. I've explained the situation to the gentleman. I don't remember if I got his name or not. I apologize. He was close. He didn't really want people parking on the streets, which makes a lot of sense since there's a bike lane on both sides. Even if it's allowed, it shouldn't probably happen for safety reasons. They have plenty of parking, what you'll see from my review there. The other issue was maybe the noise could be a problem. The intent of this is not to necessarily have anything outside, just in the storage building itself. So all that being said, you see the applicant and myself reviewed the conditions. So there's a consensus between the city and the applicant on what the conditions would look like. Those were presented and we talked back and forth. To take one quick step backwards, the conditional rezone will be for this particular use and this use only. If the use ends, the portion of that building reverts back to R1 and what it was previously. That's the key to doing this in a conditional rezone. That's the stipulation by law. If the planning commission agrees with this application and the conditions, and you would make a motion to recommend to the city council to approve it. If you agree, if you don't, you deny it, and that pretty much is the end of this conversation. That being said, there would be an agreement written up by the attorney for probably the city, putting the conditions on that agreement, stating the legal stuff that he gets paid to do, and then the church would sign it. I'm sorry, the Youth Armory would sign it, and we would sign it, and we would just monitor that and work with them if anything needed to change. If the use ceases to exist, there'd be a report back to the commission saying they're done with that and we're back to R1. So that's the nuts and bolts of the application. As you see from my conditions and my memo, I don't have any problem with the zoning end of this. They comply with everything they would normally comply with. That building really was built for these types of activities way back when, so Unless you have questions for me, I don't have any more at this time.
Commissioner have any questions?
Is there any signage as part of the application for the new use?
You know,
I
I
think
don't-
right now there's a fairly large temporary sign. I hope it's temporary because it's right in the,
So we did not discuss the signage as a condition, but they would fall under the sign ordinance. There are some temporary signs that they could use for service, which I think I've seen, which is the A-frame signs that come in and out. Those are exempt from sign permits, but if there's a planted one there, we could put a condition on if you want, or I could just enforce the zoning ordinance and work with them that way and make them get a permit.
With those pop-up signs or folding signs, they cannot be in the city right away, correct?
Correct,
Okay.
yep. They would have to be on the back side of the sidewalk, and they have to come and go with the operation or the hours of operation
Okay.
per the zoning ordinance.
All right.
Yeah.
This isn't a purchase portion of the armory, this is strictly rental lease type deal.
Yes, that's my understanding.
Hey, Jerry, some citizens are concerned about parking on the street, so would the parking lot be able to handle the
Yeah, there's plenty of,
pending?
yep, there's plenty of parking spaces for the zoning ordinance. And there's some overflow there if they really, the facility, we discussed the fact that there's 4th of July could happen on a weekend. There could be more than one event going on. I don't anticipate any problem with parking. There's an excess there, to be quite honest with you.
if I'm not mistaken, isn't at least one side of the street no parking all the way on First Street?
It is,
Or is
I-
it both sides?
I thought it was both sides.
I thought it was
Because of
both
the
sides,
bike.
but at least one is listed as no parking
Yeah.
down the whole stretch, so.
I know one side is as well, and I noticed that I didn't see any signs there on that other side, but there's a bike trail painted out, so I would assume that,
Yeah, you can't have that bike path on both sides and
yeah,
have people park.
no.
So parking on the street shouldn't be an issue because it's already a violation. So
Again, I think their parking lot is plenty big enough, and I don't think that would be an issue at all.
the only comment I heard was about the sign. That
Oh, okay.
Good point.
We can certainly add it if you choose to the conditions that they comply with the zoning ordinance, but I'm gonna enforce it anyways, so it's totally up to you.
Well, I added that already on my thoughts here, so.
Sure.
Okay, is that all, Jerry?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So we'll close that and move along to the applicant. Come forward, please.
Thank you, I appreciate it. Thanks, Judy.
You're welcome.
You did a summary, I don't need to speak now, really. Hi, everyone, thank you for allowing me to be here. I'm Michelle May, and I am the chairman of the board of directors, or the president of the board of directors for the Armory currently. And I thought I'd just take a minute to tell you a little bit about the Armory if you don't know about it, plus it's a great opportunity for me to have a little sidebar, which is good. The Armory Youth Project is a nonprofit that offers free out-of-school programs to Manistee County for students in grades 6 through 12. So out of school means summer as well as after school. We're not just an after school program. You know that our youth face a lot of challenges, emotional, social, physical, and we know the Armory is making a difference for that. We have an opportunity here to work as a community to make sure these kids get what they need. We want to inspire them to thrive, and we want to help them be what they can become. The most urgent thing we do right now is provide tools and opportunities to help them build life skills. So we want to position them for success. That's our goal. And we know that these kids are going to be our future parents, future volunteers, future community leaders, future voters. They're our workforce. So we really are vested in helping them be all they can be. So the AYP mission is to provide a safe environment where young people can build that community and they can be encouraged in their emotional, educational, physical, and spiritual development. Our vision is to create this thriving youth culture in Manistee, and where every child has that feeling of being valued, they feel like they have the tools that they need to be successful, and that's our goal, is to help them. Our staff and our volunteers, they help the students build this confidence and this resilience and this respect. Our programs are all around independence and choice. So students are encouraged but never forced to take any of the classes that we have, and we like them to take advantage, but we just encourage, we don't force. And over time, we have built this relationship with mentorship, and then we work with them to influence them, to help make them embrace what their potential can be, and honestly, to help them make good choices. Our research shows that after-school programs do all those things that you know they should do. They reduce crime, they boost academics, they improve behavior, and they lead to healthier habits. So that's what we're trying to do. The AYP recipe for success is all about targeted programs, plus free meals and healthy snacks and healthy food, a safe and secure environment, and then a staff that just loves kids at heart. And that equals change lives. And that's what we're trying to do. We collaborate with a lot of the community organizations already: MAPS, Staircase Youth Services, the Teen Center, the library, the Ramsdale, Young Life. And we work together to ensure, like I said, these kids get the support that they need. If it's something AYP can't provide, we work with others to make sure that we can find it for them. And as a result, we continue to grow. We are 40% higher in attendance right now, January through July, than we were last year. And we've served 2,500 free meals to date through July. These kids want the services we provide, and they're coming, they're taking advantage of it. So we like to think about impacting one child at a time, that it's not about groups, it's really how do you make that relationship with the child and impact them one student at a time. The other thing we're doing is we're offering internships for the first time this year. So we're offering Manistee High School seniors the opportunity to intern at the Armory. And a lot of the kids, we have 2 kids right now doing it, and they were former AYP students. So it's fun to see kids come through the program 6th grade through 12th and then take on an internship with us. That's really the goal, is to teach them that process. And we've welcomed community members into the Armory. As you know, even though it's our building, we still try to make it available to the community. We have adult fitness classes, we have spaces for pickleball, driver's ed, Special Olympics, MRA. The high schools have borrowed our gym at times to do practices when they're getting their gym floor refinished. So we try to work with the community to make it available as well. So you know what we're here today. Jerry said it best with the words, the conditional rezoning, to expand what we currently have for a space that's storage, and we just want to do what we do in the gym in that space. And since 1955, the Armory has been this hub in our community, and we want it to continue to be that way. This privilege was extended to us when we bought the Armory, and we want to continue to make it a usable facility for generations to come. But as you know, this takes investment. Maintaining this building takes investment. And we want to do something that has a low footprint in the neighborhood, but gives us an opportunity to generate some dollars that will help us cover our operations. The AYP is privately run. We are not funded by tax dollars, but the city of Manistee truly benefits from what we do. 95% of our students that come in today are from Manistee. And right now we're averaging 40 kids a day at our summer camps, and they're learning life skills such as cooking and biology day camps and art and STEM activities. They're taking field trips around the community. So for us, the challenge is we just want to continue to provide these services, and we're trying to find ways to help fund it. So as you guys well know, all nonprofits face it, we depend on donations and grants to help us get to where we need to be. And we want to responsibly sustain this operation. And the way we want to do that is to leverage underutilized areas of our facility and try to rent those so that we can get some income back for that. And we're simply asking to extend, again, what's happening in our gym to this storage space right behind the gym. The proposed space would be rented to a local church for their Sunday service. As Jerry said, we don't see any changes to what the neighborhood or the community should experience. Parking lot has enough spaces. Our plumbing was just redone with the help of a Manistee County Community Foundation grant, so that's been fixed. And we just want to accommodate and do what we need to do with city regulations to make sure we can make that space available for assembly use. We welcome you to visit. I'll be willing to meet you there, or Janice, our executive director, anytime you want to come. We also offer our annual open houses and opening house kickoffs for school when we start school in the fall. We're proud of what we do in the community, and I think you would be too if you come to learn a little bit more about us. But we can't do it without your support. So we ask for the approval of this space. We hope that you'll support us. This change will help us sustain our operations, which we think are extremely important to the Manistee County youth and to the community. And we just want to remain a good neighbor and do what we need to do and follow the regulations to do it. So I thank you for your time and your consideration. Any questions for me?
Questions?
I have one.
Certainly.
Has there been any discussion about children of multiple faiths that go
Yes.
into this center
Yes.
being evangelized by the church that you were?
So we originally were affiliated with the Faith Covenant Church. That's where our funding started. We are a separate nonprofit now, not affiliated with any church. We are considered non-denominational. So we have kids from the Divine Mercy, we have kids from Bridges, we have kids from the TAB. So we don't go to one or another. And we do not force any spiritual things on the students. We're there to talk to them if they want to talk about it. We have Young Life that's operated and uses our facility to offer Young Life services, but no kid is forced. It's all by choice if they want to join or not. Does that help?
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, good.
I have a question.
Yes.
I'm on the board at the Senior Center.
Yes.
Council on Aging, and being a nonprofit, and that, how do you plan to lease to the church? Are they paying you a salary? Then that way you won't be all nonprofit again? How do you plan?
No, it's just a rental. We do rentals for things like I mentioned, Special Olympics, driver's ed, pickleball. This will just be a rental for us. So they will rent to use that space on Sundays.
Will the church portion be locked off during?
It will be separate for those church services. We currently have storage in part of that facility.
Okay.
It'll be divided, the storage. We offer prom boutique to all the girls in the county where they can get free dresses for prom or dances. That storage for those dresses will still be in that space. And they'll have a separate space with separate access. They will be using our fire exits and all those things that allow us to meet.
All right.
Yeah. How about the pool tables and the ping pong,
They've
where,
all been moved,
and relocated?
relocated in the facility, and they will be having their chairs set up. Right now, they're having to tear down every day and set up again, every Sunday and set up again, which they have to come in early, stay late. And honestly, guys, for our gym floor, we would prefer to have it in the storage area. Manistee Community Foundation helped us refinish that gym floor in '22. I would like to protect it as much as possible. So the setup tear down is not great for me. So it helps by having it in the other area. And they don't have to set up and tear down.
I don't blame you there. It's,
Yeah, yeah, we want to maintain as much as we can.
okay.
Anything else?
Any other questions? Okay.
I appreciate your time.
Well, thank you. Is there anyone from the church here?
Hello,
Hi.
I am Joyce Newman. I'm the pastor of River of Life. And I wasn't prepared to speak, so I need you to ask me questions and then I can speak and fill in anything that you would like. I can tell you this. I met Jerry in the very beginning, and we're just waiting. We believe that we're supposed to be there. We believe that we're an asset to the community. We're not trying to run anybody over or be anything other than just be there. And they have a storage space, a big space, and our church is very small, and we have outgrown our space, mainly because of our kids. And so that's a good problem to have. Really hard to find something in the city to be able to move and reestablish. So I felt led to get a hold of Janice and the board, and we asked if maybe we could rent some space. And so here we are today. Through all of the things that we've accomplished together, I believe that we're still supposed to be there. I love kids. I love the youth. Now, I'm not a volunteer. I think that would be conflict of interest for maybe some of the community. You know, like one of the questions were, would we evangelize? And but will I always be there if I'm needed? I absolutely would be. Who wouldn't be as a minister of the gospel, right? But I just want to know that we make a difference in the community, and this is a place that has space that originally was storage, And it just wasn't being used other than storage, and Janice came to the church and she's seen how our setup was, and she goes, gosh, I have an idea. And so this was the idea that we came up with, is to rent the space, not have to tear down and set up every week. It's going to be decorated, basically. We will go through the permits and do whatever needs to happen. The Armory will, but it'll be a beautiful space. And it's a space we want to rent. It will also bring income to the Armory so that they can continue reaching out to the community and our youth and doing what needs to be done here to help us. Any questions?
Any questions?
No, she answered mine. I was wondering why you needed it, and
That's why.
It's okay.
It's a good problem to have.
it is.
So your facility on Murky and Cherry, will you be leaving that and,
No, sir. We have services on Thursday nights as well at
Okay.
6:30. We have Bible class and we have discipleship class during the week in the fall. That's where our offices are, and so that's our main place. This would be for Sundays, and anything beyond that, I'd probably ask to use the gym. So, like for a Christmas program or something. But other than that, we still have our church. I would love to build, but it's pretty expensive to build. And I just really prayed about it and felt like we were supposed to move forward in finding a place to rent and a place where we could be a benefit to our community. And that would be the resources would then be poured into our community with our youth.
all right, very good. Any other, nothing? Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll move along to public comment on public hearings. So if there's anyone in the audience that has anything on this, please come to the podium. Name and address, please.
Thank you. I'm George Butler at 547 First Street. So my wife Kathy and I are across the parking lot from the Armory. We are really pleased to have the Armory for a neighbor. Who knows what might come into a big building like that, how it might be used in our community. To have the Armory doing the ministry that it's doing to our community for our kids is astounding. So as a neighbor, some neighbors may be concerned about noise and automobiles. I don't see a problem at all. First Street can handle the traffic. The city parking as well as the Armory parking can handle a lot of automobiles, way more than are going to be used by the church. Noise? No, not a problem. Traffic Sunday morning at 11? No, it doesn't exist. I only know one neighbor who's out to church, and so there's not a lot of traffic that time of day either. It's using the Armory at a time when it's not otherwise being used, and so there's a continuity there that's helpful. For the Armory to be able to have some income to help support that large building and that large ministry is really exciting. There's a commonness of a desire to reach our community by really two organizations that are symbiotic. They really help work together for kids, for adults in our community. So it's exciting. I'm happy to have the Armory there. We've enjoyed the Armory since the military Armory left. And it's a good place to live. We have other problems on the street. That's cars with no mufflers, sound coming right out of the headers, and they like to rev it up past our house a number of times. Not that they need to accelerate at all, but they just like to make noise. So we have problems like that. But the Armory, we love the Armory. We're glad they're our neighbor, and glad to have River of Life coming in. A good church, good reputation, and so we're excited about that. I just wanted to, complaints is not all we need to hear. We need to celebrate together something like this, so thank you.
Thank you so much. Anyone else?
Good evening. I live at 11281 LaSalle Road, so I'm outside the city a little bit, but I want to speak to you this evening as a dad whose 4 girls attend MAPS school district. And for the first time, you'll hear me get a little emotional. I've got a preteen, which is an equally scary thing in my world as a dad. And I have a preteen that's struggling. And yet, after a very difficult school year, what she looked forward to most about moving into middle school was an open house day at the Armory. A day in a place where maybe she never utilized as a tool, but she knows she has a safe place in this community. And in a community from a previous job as a pastor in this community, we know we have a drug problem in this community. We know we're very blessed with law enforcement that is fighting tooth and nail for that, but we need to take every inch of our city back. And this is a great way and a great organization that desires to do just that. And with a great partnership with River of Life, this is great for our community, to be able to take back pieces of our community, to provide hope for our community, and the ability to allow the Armory to have resources and more partners and more access into our community only, I think, adds hope and a better future for our community here in Manistee. So I would just strongly encourage allowing this conditional rezoning to take place. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Would you like to state your name, sir?
Seth Bush, sorry about that.
Thanks.
Good catch. One last comment.
Evening, Mike Hudak. I used to live at 564 First Street, right across from the Armory. In Onekama now, we were renting from the Polsons for 3.5 years. I can attest that that's a very nice facility. They kept it very nicely. I was so intrigued that I actually joined as a volunteer there now, in all transparency. But I work out at home when I'm not traveling, and I'd say many days you'd see the kids get out of the school buses and run into the facility. Just phenomenal, right? But from a neighbor's perspective, they were very quiet. They upkeep the facility very nicely. And, we had no issues. I think I agree with the gentleman here, is we couldn't open the front windows because of the traffic. Those loud trucks every night, right? So, Mick, your question about the evangelization, this program for the church will run on Sundays. We are shut down on Sundays, so the kids and the church won't intermingle at all. And actually, the Young Life program that is in our Marie Youth Project that sometimes is run by one of our parishioners at Divine Mercy. So it's an intermix of Christian faith. But there's no evangelization going on there either. So the third thing I forgot about, but that's okay. But here again, we're committed to actually keeping the facility very clean. We're kind of a gateway down to First Street Beach. Talked about blight earlier with the code enforcement officer here. And our goal is to make that a very proud Manistee place. It's been there for quite a while, and we intend to keep it that way for a while as well. Good. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? No? Okay.
Mr. Chair, one technical issue I want to bring up. I got the affidavit of publication, and if you read that, you'll notice that I published it as a public assembly of large. We revised that for the recommendations to be a small. Small is allowed by right in C2, not large. Large would be a special use. And they agreed within their conditions to stay under that threshold of occupancy. So they didn't need the large. It's merely transparency and being open about why the publication doesn't match the recommendation and/or the next step here for.
All right.
Thank
you.
Ask Jerry a question
Sure.
about this. Now, if they have used for church, will there be like weddings down there and parties afterwards or something? And how late at night there'll still be activity? Is that allowed under this permit?
So church services is what's spelled out. If the wedding falls within a church service on Sunday, then yes, they would be able to do that. It's not specific
but through the week or Saturdays?
Nope, this is just for Sunday, per the number 1 place of public assembly, small church uses. Now, one could argue that there's a lot of uses involved in a church, as long as they're doing it on Sunday and they're limiting to no more than 100 people. We asked, one of the conditions, no church services outside. So yes, they would be able to potentially have if they do that, have a wedding or a baptismal maybe, or, forgive me, I've been a little bit absent from my church services, but yes, that would be allowed.
Good question, Marlene.
Yeah, excellent.
We good? Okay, we will close the public hearing. It is 6:15. And then move along to public comment on agenda-related items. All comments and handouts from the speaker at the podium will go through the chair. Also, there will not be any interaction between the podium and audience. If these rules cannot be followed, the chair can adjourn the meeting. The speaker at the podium is limited to 5 minutes. So, is there anyone that has any comments on the agenda tonight? Please come to the podium. None? Okay. New business, 555 First Street, conditional rezoning application. So we listened to everything. So, have any other questions?
We're just looking for a motion to approve and recommend to City Council.
Correct. The motion should include any conditions that myself and the applicant has agreed to, and anything else you would like to add.
Okay.
Any additional?
I don't, yeah, other than just complying with the sign, I honestly, the youth center has been doing an excellent job since they've been here, and I'm very confident that they'll continue to do so in the future, and it is a great asset for our community.
Oh,
So,
definitely.
wholeheartedly support, and it makes sense that if you have space and you can rent it, and again, even wedding receptions, I think they can do that now. I believe they have the ability to rent for special events and have, so.
In the gym, yes.
Yeah, yeah, so I don't see there's any big issues at all.
Do you just want it to read in accordance with the sign ordinance or something special?
If you look at number 6, that covers every code in the city.
Yep.
So it's in there.
Yeah, so, that's it.
Ken, you have anything? No? All good? So, the conditions, and I'll read these. Public place of assembly, small, church use, limited to Sundays only. Number 2, occupancy no more than 100 persons. Number 3, no church services outdoors. Number 4, obtain a building permit and any necessary trade permits for the exchange of use. Number 5, no parking on the street. Maintain code compliance. So with that, with these knockdown signs, I would like to add that for number 7, not having those in the city right away.
That would be part of code compliance, but you can add anything you'd like.
Right, but I'd just like to have it in there.
Okay.
So no signage in the city right of way. So, because honestly, that stuff drives me nuts. So,
I hear you.
just me, but, so, with these proposed conditions by the applicant, so I would ask for a motion.
I'll make that motion.
Motion by Nick.
Second.
Second
Second.
by Shelley. Further discussion? None, please take roll.
Commissioner Schmansky,
Yes.
Commissioner Weiner,
Yes.
Commissioner Membertu,
Yes.
Commissioner McBride,
Yes,
Commissioner Scarpace,
Yes.
Chair Whitliff.
Yes. Motion passed. Congratulations. Next, the Gateway Redevelopment Project Special Use Permit Extension Request. Now, is there anyone here from Little River Holdings? None? So I would ask for a table on this. So if I can get a motion for a table? There's no
Yeah.
representation?
Yeah, I'll make a
The
motion.
motion that we table this till they're able to be present, present their
Okay, great.
case.
Okay, so a motion to table until they can get a representative, possibly next meeting. So we have a motion second. Second by Pam. Discussion. Please take roll.
Commissioner Szymanski?
Yes.
Commissioner Weiner?
Yes.
Commissioner Membertu?
Yes.
Commissioner McBride?
Yes.
Commissioner Scarpace?
Yes.
Chair Whitliff?
Yes.
Motion passed.
Old Business Master Plan Review, Chapter 7, Implementation.
Hello.
Hello.
Aye.
I'm Tracy Davis with Housing North, and I'm here to help facilitate the final pieces of the master plan, along with Jerry and Williams and Works. So you should have in your packet Chapter 7, Implementation. And if you have any ideas on how to do this, other than I would go page by page, does that work for everyone? Okay, so the first page, is there anything that you saw that,
It's my job to keep him in line.
He's
Oh.
laughing at me.
okay,
Not you, Tracy.
okay.
Yeah, not you.
Is there anything on the first page that you think needs to be addressed, tweaked, changed, have some discussion on?
Just the suggested revisions. So those are not currently part of the language, they're suggested language.
No, they are not. But what I did talk with Tanya this week from Williams and Works, and she said there will be probably some more robust recommendations when we get to that final view, which you would potentially see next month. So
That was my question. So
Yeah.
suggesting these revisions, will she include them in the next draft?
she will include some additional recommendations, yeah.
Thank you.
Which kind of brought me to that next page, if there aren't any other on that first page. In terms of the zoning reform, in particular, under the housing section, there was, I don't know if you remember, a previous memo from Beckett and Rader that had some additional zoning recommendations for workforce housing. They're going to incorporate those into this document as well. Again, giving you some more specific language if you choose to move forward with that.
Would it include more options? Is it designed to?
It really is talking about the different housing options and kind of defining what those look like.
I think
And then there was a section under parking, plan unit developments, which are all some of the things that she briefly touched on in these sections, but it laid it out a little bit more in Beckett and Rader from 2019. So after our conversation, she thought that maybe being more specific would be helpful. And again, once you see that draft plan, that's the time that we can also make additional changes if you want to do that. So, did anybody have anything else on page 2?
I didn't. Anybody? No? Okay. On to 3.
On page 3, the section that has the beach master plan, I understand that it was approved just recently. My suggestion was to have it attached as an appendix, and that they'll just notate that in this section that see approved beach master plan, so that you have it readily available as part of the master plan to access.
Okay.
Anything under the MDOT with the streets? Did you have something?
Well, you know, they just had their open house the other day, and I don't know when the highway street plan is going to be incorporated into that, because it's not final yet. So
Okay.
that needs to be a hold, I would assume, until MDOT comes back and actually gives us what their final plans are.
Okay.
Which is probably several months out, maybe longer. So I don't know how we do that.
I will make sure to notate to her that she should mention that in that section, and she can kind of tweak the language as opposed to waiting for months.
Right.
To hear.
Well, and they have what they briefed, you know, is already there, but there are some areas that are still questionable.
Okay. I'll see if I can get my hands on that brief and then have her look at it to put something in there referencing that, if that makes sense.
Now, is that the 31?
Yes, yeah, 31 quarter.
So that's, yeah, I guess this would be a time reason. So my understanding is that the MDOT is proposing 3 lanes. So one north-south and then a middle turn lane.
Right.
Correct.
And does anybody know the reason for that?
To slow traffic down. Call it a road diet.
Slow traffic down.
Yes.
Well, and to eliminate a lot of the accidents that are currently happening on 31, especially between First Street and River Street, are all side swipes. That's the predominant. It's because people are switching from one lane to the other. And by having that one way with the center lane, you avoid a lot of that high-speed switching from left to right. That's the assumption. And it's a very narrow corridor. And in fact, it's even narrower when you get into the Parkdale area, if you've noticed.
It's, especially if you're driving, I've got F-150, if you're driving an F-150 and there's 4 of us and it's tight.
Okay.
So, and then also they want to have sidewalks. They'll be putting sidewalks on both sides throughout the whole city of Manistee, so.
Okay. Well, that'll definitely slow traffic down for sure.
Plus all the closing of curb cuts.
Yes.
A lot of clubs. My big issue is, and I've voiced it several times, is that they're going to need to do something in the Arthur Street area, because it is so hard to make a left-hand turn out of there now. It's going to only get busier with the restaurants. But in order to make a right-only requirement, you have to have a roundabout at the corner by the Burger King. And right now, the property exists. There's enough property there to do it. In fact, they admitted that they looked at it and there was enough property. It's all about the money. It's, you know, $3 million is what they estimated putting in that traffic circle. But
Even with the train there?
even with the train there, yeah. And again, they said, well, you know, it's with the train, it's going to be a little bit more difficult, but it's not impossible. There's 3 or 4 that you can look up online, by the way, just Googling it, and they're very common in Europe, having a roundabout with a train going through the centers. But anyways, that was my issue. I think that, you know, it's going to be 50 years before they're going to make any changes on that highway. I'm probably not going to be here for them. So.
And essentially, your statement here on page 3 is exactly what you just saw discussed.
Yep.
The concept is to continue working with MDOT to make things safe, sustainable, and this is 20, 30 years down the road that we're projecting, so it's all going to change several times before that.
Yeah.
Sorry, Tracy.
That's okay. Do you have access to that MDOT plan?
Yes.
Okay, all right.
Yep.
So,
We've provided it to her.
oh, you have?
Yeah.
I'll just have a discussion with her about that section and specifically the MDOT plan, and maybe having her call something out about that. Anything else on that page? The section that starts with non-motorized infrastructure improvements, that page, is there, I do have something in the downtown and River Street improvement section, but anything in the non-motorized infrastructure section?
No, it's relocation of the railroad is,
Decades away.
Well,
but it's, I mean,
they were telling 3 years.
It's not. It's not. I don't.
we can only wish.
Yeah, it'd be nice if they got
So,
started in 2
yeah.
years. I don't think it's gonna happen, but
Right, I think it's gonna be,
it's gonna be a long time.
yeah. So the section under the downtown and River Street improvements, I had, after this was drafted, I talked to Andrew with the Economic Development and shared this section in particular to make sure that this was a part of the DDA and River Street plan. So once he had a chance to review that, he said that there is a more recent plan with some larger scope than what is just focused in these 6 points. So he is going to share that with us so that that could be incorporated, not multiple pages, but sort of summarize what that is in this section to really reflect what they are actually doing. So he'll have that and it'll be in that draft, unless you want to bring this whole chapter back next month.
Is there gonna be an opportunity for the streetscape to be an attachment, or?
It probably can be. They're gonna unveil it very soon, he said, so I can ask him to have that be an appendix.
The only thing I would add to this is adding trees to the downtown.
Okay?
And more benches.
Well, that was,
Trees,
yeah,
benches.
depending on what the streetscape
Right.
ends up being.
Well, it would
but
be nice to see the
that-
streetscape. Yeah, it would be nice for us to see the streetscape.
I'm assuming,
Worry about
I'm thinking that Andrew will be bringing the streetscape plan to this group,
It would be nice.
but I can have that conversation with him. Just, let me write that.
And it's unfunded.
Yeah, I know. But, yeah,
They would add beauty to downtown.
Feel like I'm beating a dead horse.
Okay. Anything else under that section?
No,
Oh, you said trees, I didn't,
trees, yeah.
but it depends on,
Trees and benches.
Yeah.
okay. I have not seen that plan that he's gonna unveil, but he and I can talk about it. And then on that last page, they will be fixing the headings that are all gobbledygook. They apologize for that. Anything else that needed to be changed with this last page?
Page 5, is that what you're looking at?
Remember,
On that-
Where it starts master plan updates,
Yep.
implementation timeline.
Okay.
And then there's the table that has that,
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
Hmm.
Go.
Alien language.
The one thing that I wanted, so I will share the discussions back with Williams and Works. I'll talk to Andrew, I'll have his information. Do you want to see just this chapter, maybe specifically what Andrew had to talk just about implementation again next month, or just have it put into the draft? Because the draft, you're able to make changes and rearrange things and cut things also. So it's up to you, but I don't know if we want to delay.
well, what's everybody think?
I think Tanya can add it and
Yep.
get the draft.
I'd like to see the draft.
In the draft?
Yep.
I mean, I can, Andrew said he'll have something for me tomorrow, so I could share it with with you in advance to see if there's any questions or tweaking
That would be
before
nice.
it goes to Tanya?
That would be nice.
Okay, I'll do that.
Good idea.
Just a friendly reminder, don't reply all.
True.
Yeah, let me know your comments, but not reply all. Okay.
We'll reply all and start a group text.
Okay. And then,
I
so based on, unless there's some major concerns with what I shared that Andrew is developing, I'll share the comments then next week with Tanya. We'll talk through, she'll make some of those adjustments, and then we would go to putting together the draft all together. And that would be at the September, I can't believe we're talking about September, but it would be at the September meeting where you'd view the draft full plan. Does that sound?
Good?
Yep.
Okay.
Okay.
Excellent.
Okay, great.
Thank you, Tracy.
Thank you. You're welcome.
Thank you.
Move along, public comments. Anyone in the, no? Okay.
I think we're good.
Staff and board reports.
So you notice you didn't get a staff written report again. You can fire me if you choose. I will give you a verbal report though. A little bit of stuff I've been doing and what I know. Been working on some historical district enforcement downtown. Complaints coming in, signs are always a problem. Working without permits, always a problem. I like dealing with those things kind of like Tim does. Let's have a conversation first. It produces a lot less paperwork if they comply. If they comply, I can just do a quick enforcement, get it on record and go. If I have to write a letter and do all that stuff, it takes a lot of time. I ain't got time. I'm getting older. I'm working these 3 or 4 different hats, so trying to get out there, be civil and polite, and I think that's the best approach at this point. There are a lot of things happening in the zoning world, the building world, the community development world, projects that are, a lot of tire kickers, I like to call them, a lot of phone calls. I spend a third of my day answering questions on the telephone. I take another third of my day taking complaints about people who are kicking things other than the tires. And then I spend the rest of my full day doing my normal job. So that being said, we're really busy. We're up to about 79 building permits already this year. We've exceeded last fiscal year's revenue at the halfway point, largely to the hotel project. They've started there, if you've noticed. They're going pretty good. Washington Street's going to be tore up here shortly. We're going to have a nice inconvenient detour around that. I believe in the next week or so, they're supposed to schedule to start. It may get pushed back a little bit. The bakery sign on the hotel, the historical district asked me to reach out to them and see if they would consider donating that to the museum, and they've agreed to. So now it looks like I got to go pick up a sign and drop it off to the museum, unless someone wants to volunteer. We're still working on the top 10 blighted structures that we started a year and a half ago. We haven't gotten off the top 6, to be honest with you. And there's about 100 more that I could tackle today if you really wanted me to. This is a long, miserable process and a systemic issue that cannot be solved overnight. I don't know how long it's going to take. I'm running up to about 10 years to my retirement, and I'll be glad if I get through the first 20 in 10 years. That would be an accomplishment. I won't lie to you. The process is built to work slow. The government isn't in the business of taking people's property. So that being at the forefront of everybody's mind, we are in the business of keeping people safe and healthy. So we got to balance that and try to work with people, and then, well, go to court and spend money. So we're working on that as well. I will confess I made a blunder and I issued citations to an individual instead of an LLC, and we got to court the second time and I didn't catch it, the attorneys didn't catch it, the judge almost didn't catch it until it was almost too late. So we're starting over on a blighted property on Walnut Street. I've got the citations in my folder and I was waiting for a review from the attorney because, well, they get paid more than me, quite honestly, and that's what they're supposed to do, is review stuff. So we're gonna continue that enforcement. The one thing I always try to fess up to my mistakes when I make mistakes, but what I do tell people is I'm persistent. Just ask my wife. I will not give up until my bosses tell me I'm done. And when I tell somebody I'm going to do something, it takes me a long time sometimes because of the system, but we're going to get it done. So that's where we're at with some of that stuff. Again, feel free to call, stop in. If you can catch me, good luck. But I'll always try to get back with you in a day or two and we'll take care of whatever we need to take care of. So Laura and Kelly and Tracy, everybody's been great to fill in here while Teresa's been absent and catch some of the stuff that I just don't have the time to catch. I gotta speed her up a little bit sometimes, so that's where
Have
we're at.
you interviewed for assistants yet?
No, actually tomorrow's the deadline. We posted it. We were going to interview some candidates that applied when at the last round, and that didn't work out. And quite honestly, I talked to Bill and said, listen, I'm gonna have to train somebody, and I really don't have time right now to train somebody. It would almost be better to post this and see if the new person could deal with this. Which is not gonna be me, by the way. I did not apply.
Okay.
I don't have any desire to do this full-time. I like it. I could do it. I like going home at 5. My wife enjoys that as well, so with this position, that's not possible. So I'm hoping to get back to my building and rental stuff and hiding in my office and helping people when I can. So that's my goal. There are candidates for the position, and I believe it's still community development, unless somebody's changed it and I don't know about. And there are interviews set up for that.
Good.
Yep. So they've been gracious enough to allow me to sit in on those, so I know who my next boss is.
Okay.
So that's where we're at.
Laura, you have anything?
I do not.
Okay, thank you. Move along to meetings and training attended by members. This time the chair will ask if any members of PC attended any meetings or training since the last meeting.
Nope.
Anybody?
I did.
Did you?
Yeah, I went to the US 31 rebuild open house. Yeah, just yesterday. Yep. And it was not well attended, but there was maybe 100 people there.
Good.
Which is okay. Not a lot of change from what they kind of recommended that they were going to do as far as the 3 lanes going all the way through. They did come up with some more money for lighting and sidewalks, and which will help especially with pedestrian crosswalks. They'll be lighted now, so again, at least this way they'll be able to see who they're running down. So,
Put the light on them.
but it's there's still no more no more traffic lights. Just the ones that we currently have. They did say that there's going to be a left turn light at First Street.
Oh, good. That's a good idea.
So that's one plus, although we don't quite meet the criteria, I think they were able to get an exemption for that one. Not sure what's gonna happen on River Street, whether or not they'll actually have a left turn light. But other than that, it's gonna be a little bit different project. They're gonna do half one year and half the other now, instead of the whole length. So they're gonna do the north side first.
Oh.
And detour traffic, because of the detour requirements that they're gonna have, especially on the north side, there's gonna be some significant detours where people are gonna be going down Lakeshore Drive from part of the way so that they can get that section of highway accomplished, because there's no easy, just make a turn and, so, $35 million is what it's currently budgeted at.
Wow.
A little bit under the bridge.
Yep.
Okay. Anyone else? Thanks, Mick.
Yep.
No? Okay. Member discussion? Start with Ken, anything?
No, not at this time.
Nick?
I had somebody ask me if we would look at lot size when it comes to apartments. Right now, there's an issue where even though you have parking, you can address parking. There's a minimum of lot size, and we have a number of places, especially down in Maxwell Town, where the lots are small, but they've always been 2, 3, or 4 bedroom apartments. And so that's, they can address the parking, but they can't address the size of the lot that the house is on. And I lived in one of those houses, so I know one of them that they were talking about, so.
Isn't there supposed to be so much green space?
Well, it's basically, I think 10,000 square feet, I believe.
Depending on the district, yeah.
Yeah, depending, and like I said, if you go down in Maxwell Town, a lot of these 2-story apartments, they're already being rented. But to resell, then they can't have the second apartment by code or by ordinance.
Yeah, that's not
I don't
totally
know the
accurate.
details, but.
So I'm actually dealing with a couple of these situations right now. And I'm getting a little pushback because I'm registering duplexes in R2, which goes to what you're saying, not necessarily, it may be the parking issue, but the problem is you put these standards on for areas and lot width.
Right.
For medium density, and I shouldn't say none, the majority of the lots are non-conforming.
Right.
And it doesn't matter if they're single family or duplexes. I was gonna say, that's not me, I turned my phone off. So, what it boils down to is they are legal non-conforming uses and structures and lots as long as they don't cease to exist for 1 year. If they cease to exist, which is very difficult to prove, by the way, I mean, if you have a letter from a deacon or a church pastor or whatever saying we're going to stop a school on this date, that's easy to prove, a use stopped. But when you have a duplex, for example, with 2 water meters and 2 electric meters, and you have a structure, and you have a lot that the city has created too small, and we have a shortage of housing, it's unreasonable to ask me not to register that rental because it's sold or whatever the particular issue is. The trend, and correct me if I'm wrong, is we're promoting housing and as many units as we can. So if you're going to look at anything, my recommendation would be to look at the lot sizes in what you currently have in inventory and not make it more stringent, because it's not going to help anything.
So
I-
that's
that
why,
make
that was
sense?
the point I wanted to bring up. It's
Thank
just
you.
that it makes more sense for us to address it now that we're going through the master plan, to address making those, especially, it's, we have some areas that they're newer and everything is compliant, but when you get down, everything north of or east of 31, almost no one complies with the standards, so we should change the standard.
I owned a house
Can't
in Quincy, and
a lot or something. I know we had some kind of rule.
Well, but that's different. I mean, that's, yeah, but this is, like I said, we're talking about a lot of existing homes.
That have been there for,
Yeah.
You have a lot of lots that are 40 feet wide,
Yep.
that are supposed to be 60, and a lot of lots that are 60 feet wide, supposed to be 80. It's,
So when does it become an issue? When someone goes to sell, or?
it really isn't an issue unless you decide you want to add on.
Yeah.
I'm pointing at Ken because he knows what I'm talking about. You lose part of it in a fire, although there is a provision that'll allow the planning commissioner, ZBA, one or the other, to allow them to rebuild in non-conforming status, but there's a process, they just can't do it. The biggest problem is when it ceased to exist and somebody has the proof that the house is sitting there vacant for a year. They turn their power off, because that's a good way to prove that it no longer exists. But there's still a structure there, and now I gotta go there and say, no, you can't use that perfectly good structure that has no issues other than you set a lot size this big.
They had an issue on Clay Street between 31 and the church, and had an upstairs apartment, and no one had lived up there for like 2 or 3 years. They could no longer use it as a duplex rental.
See, I have a different interpretation, and I made that interpretation today. I don't think if the structure is safe and it's a viable unit, I'm not going to say, I'm going to make somebody prove to me that it's not being used. And quite frankly, you can't separate a structure from a structure. It's always a structure. Because they didn't rent it out doesn't mean it's not still grandfathered in. I would never win a court case on that, what you just said.
Yeah.
If somebody, that's a perfect example of why, part of the reason why we don't have enough houses and apartments. Because we're trying to say, oh, that you can't do that because the rule says you can't. I don't agree with that, and I will, I did an interpretation today, and my last sentence was, if you don't like my interpretation, I'm sorry we disagree. Here's the form for the ZBA. You can ask them to overrule me. But the reality is we have a shortage for a lot of different reasons. But to mandate or enforce things that really are not provable and sometimes wasting a lot of money to fight doesn't make sense to me. So
Can I?
sorry.
No,
I
do you think between you and Housing North, you could make recommendations on how to address this so that we're not throwing the baby out with the bathwater, but we're fixing a known problem? If you have some recommendations on how we can address lot size without impacting other, creating another nightmare, that we haven't foreseen.
Yes, I will work on that. Talk with Tracy with her resources. Just a very quick, and I don't want to talk very long because I want to get out of here, but maybe lot size is not the focus. Maybe it's the verbiage in the ordinance that allows for some of these uses to continue and not daylight or grandfather out. The reason that somebody did this in the past was they wanted all these lot sizes to go away and they wanted more space in between, but the trend is different now. That's why you change these lot sizes, because you want less density. So R1, they made these huge 100-foot lots you're supposed to have. Well, That's great, but everybody wants to see Lake Michigan, so they got these little lots. And they're never gonna be big lots. Some of them, they can't achieve it unless 3 houses burn down. So maybe there's a provision that just says, you're exempt from the standard regulation if you're an existing lot and/or this, and this, and it's a lot easier than fighting the battle of lot size.
Yeah, that's perfect, yeah.
Okay.
That's
I'll
why
see
I
what I
asked.
come up with.
You're the expert, so.
So is that
No,
something
no,
we should,
don't call me that.
at the chapter 7 implementation, I mean, it says zoning reform to encourage housing. Is that something we should
Yeah, that's,
definitely look into?
Ways to do it, yeah.
yep, that would help a lot, I think.
I mean,
Pam? Shelley?
Nope.
Marlene?
I'd like to thank everybody for my absence, of doing a great job without me. And for all their thoughts and prayers, and I'm back, so
It's good to have you back.
thanks.
Yes.
The only thing I have, in September, I know it's a little more than a month away, Century Boat Club will be here again. And last year, the fire department put on a root beer social for fundraiser for a burn camp. I gotta check with Tom and see if they're gonna do that again, and if the committee would like to donate to that again.
Sure.
Okay,
Absolutely.
all right, so
Good cause.
take care of that. And that is, it is second week, I think,
Oh, okay.
September, second weekend. So, but I'll find that out. So, with that, I will take a motion to adjourn. It is 6:56.
Make that motion.
I said,